Well, I got interrupted, so this will have to be part two. I want to figure out how to fix all that. But anyway, um, where was I? Oh, yeah. So it got easier, okay? And what I'm trying to tell you is that all your spiritual gifts, all your spiritual powers, your powers that you have within you, okay? Your powers that you have within you. You guys, there's a lot of you that know me, and you've watched me, and you've been watching me, and uh, how I come through things, and the things that's been happening to me. And some of you know, some of you don't. You've heard about it, but I've been being attacked spiritually and by darkness and by a lot of practitioners and things like that. And that's real. You know what I mean? It's been all my life, but I'm just talking about here lately, not too long, not too far past. But things were going on in my life that I was aware of probably started 10 years ago. Okay. And it was within my relationship and somewhere around in there. And I'm aware of this because I'm very intuitive, and I picked up on these things. And I put, a lot of it's on my fault because I put a lot of things off. I allowed a lot of things. And, I've got to put that much blame on me because it was kind of selfishness because of my love, I guess. I don't know. I, I don't know. I don't know how to really explain that. It's tough, but some of you can relate to that. But, you know, so a lot of things I let slide. I just didn't mention things. I just realized and filed them. I knew about certain things, and it wasn't, heavy, but sporadically, it's periodically certain things, and it got worse and worse. But anyway, um, uh, to the point where that was it. I have to do something to fix this, and the only thing I could do to fix it was get away. And you're going to have to do that and isolate yourself. And I've said it before in other videos, so you can get this power back. You need to get your power back because it's draining you. It's been draining you for as long as you've been doing it. It's been draining you. And even after you get off and leave it, your mind is programmed a certain way, so it's going to attack. All these attacks are going to be easier. It's going to be easier to attack you, and you do it to yourself. I did it to myself. But it just came a time. I just said, I started working on it many years ago. Quite a few years ago, and I had to just trim everything down to the point where I'm talking not just any kind of illicit drugs, my drinking, my mental, my mind, you know what I mean? Completely. My mind had to change the way it was working. And, my wife helped me a lot through it, and I helped her a lot through things. And, we worked together, but, we were still affected. You understand? So, and it affected us, in a positive, and it affected us in a negative. And it's just, in retrospect, you got to see all that, and it helps you at the point where you want to, uh, you know, you want to do a whole new thing, a whole new life. That's what you got to do. You understand? And you got to make up your mind. And you know, we've been together many years. And it's funny. I told her one day, that I said, wouldn't it be nice, honey? Remember when we first met? Remember that passion and everything, the drive we had for each other and all that. Not that we didn't have it for each other; it's just different. But after all, so many years, so many years, and I said, wouldn't it be nice to be able to fall in love again? To do it all over, but still not lose what we have for each other. You know what I mean? And it's funny because you know it's at hand right now. We could do that. We could do that. We could actually do that. But it'd be a whole different life, better. It'd be better. We're still us, but it'll be better. It'll be a better us. You know what I mean? Things like that. So that's what I'm trying to tell you. It'll be a better you, you know. Uh, Reinvent yourself, okay? Reinvent yourself. You got to make up your mind to reinvent yourself. Everything else will work better for you in your life. Uh, at jobs and, you're all aspects of your life. It'll work out better for you. So I'm just trying to give you an idea of what you're looking at, and maybe some of you can relate to it, you know. Uh, and it's real. These powers are real that I'm telling you about, because you'll refer to them. You'll refer to them at certain times and at one point or another in your life. It's a positive or the negative. And that's why I said at first of this video. When things go wrong, people blame God, but there's no God. Other than that, there's no God in your life, because you never used the source. You never used the Almighty. Whoever you're blaming, that is not the devil or the dark side. Whoever you're blaming, it's not that. So at any other time except when you got blamed. But I don't understand, how come not the dark side? That's where it comes from. You understand? That's where it comes from, because the dark side is a slave to the light. It's not the other way around. Uh, the dark can't overcome the light. No matter what you do, you can't do it. That's why you got flashlights. That's why you have, you're walking into a dark room, you pull out your lighter, and just a little bitty light gives you a whole bunch of light. A lot of you get your flashlight on your phones, or just a light off your phones to navigate. Does all that darkness take over? Why if the light isn't more powerful than the darkness, then why are you even messing with the light? Why do you need a light, right? At one point, you got to look at this spiritually. And if you look at it spiritually, you don't need that phone. You don't need no flashlight. You don't need no candle. You don't need no lighter. You are the light. And if you're going to walk through darkness, that's how you can navigate. You are the light. But you have to know it. You have to be it. You have to work it. You have to walk it. Okay? And there's a lot. I want to add this. Some of you collectives out there that are workers of the light, you're stepping in and you're stepping out, because some of you got some problems with some of these illicit things. Okay, you're drinking, okay, and other things. You know what I'm saying? Some of you, not completely. I mean, not saying that you're addicts, but these chronic addicts. But I'm saying you're doing too much of it, and anytime you do, and you throw everything off. You understand? If you're drinking, your mind it's not working as it should. So you're throwing everything off. You're getting high in any manner. You're altering and blocking a lot of the power that you've got. So if you really want to be within these light works, I'm talking to the light workers, the collective. And I'm not putting you down or anything. I'm just saying, some of you have these things, periodically, just know this. And, if you really want to enhance your powers, you got to get completely clean. Okay. That don't mean you can't go and have a drink, once in a while, but have a drink, 2 drinks maybe, and that's it. Get out. You know what I mean? You can't sit there and drink all night, get wasted, because you don't know what's going on, okay, with your powers, and you're going to deplete. You're depleting and you're depleting, okay? So you're opening doors. You understand? You're opening doors for that darkness to get in. So you gotta remember that, because things are going to start happening, that you don't like so much. And where's the blame going to go? That way or that way? You know what I mean? Uh, and it's going to demean yourself, your own self-worth, man. Some of you get so bad that you're blaming yourself for everything, which is true, but it's still, it's not like you're worthless. You know what I mean? You're still a walking masterpiece, but you get back to it. Get back on you jump off your pedestal. You know what I mean? Get back on it. You know what I'm saying? So uh, don't let it keep you down, man, because of people's mouth. You know, you get people over there manipulating you. They don't want you down. All these that are down here like this, they don't want you back up there. They don't want you back on your pedestal. They know who you are, but they want you down here so they can use you. You understand? They can drain you from your energy. They're energy vampires. I've said it before. And that's what they're doing. That's why you're stuck. Some of you can't get out. You know, they're using blackmail. They're using this and that because you got yourself into something that was a little too deep for you, but they had your mind. So don't blame it all on yourself. You know, you made the decision. Yes, you shouldn't even be there in the first place. You should be where you were, where you belong, because you had it all. You had it going on, but no, you know, you wanted more. You wanted more. You wanted more. Well, you didn't have the patience to wait. You know, there's things that come along. There's different stages in life. You know what I mean? You haven't been without. If you was without, downtrodden, poor thing, you look around, see what you had. Now what do you got? You know what I mean? What do you got? Because you run over there. What do you got? And that's man or woman. It don't matter. What do you got now? You know? And they lied to you. They lied to you. Anybody can throw on a suit and smile and tell you how rich they are and suck you in. And you don't know anything about them. They got these dark things they do in the back there in the bedroom. Yeah. Put stuff in your food, put stuff in your drink, all kinds of things, anything, all these little spells and stuff to work. You know, that stuff's real, man. But you don't know what's going on because it takes over you and you're just walking around like this little zombie and you got this idea in your head. Oh my God, I hit the jackpot. No, you left the jackpot. You stepped out of the jackpot into what? Debt. You know, you're getting raped. You're getting raped mentally, spiritually, physically, huh? Monetarily. It's, you know, you jump out, get out of there, clean it up, get out. You know, if you need help, you know where to go. You know where to go. You know where to go. I've said it before. You know, some of you just won't do it. You won't do it. It's, you know, too much pride. I guess you're ashamed because you know you messed up. Well, yeah, you did. And things are going to be different. You know, if you can get back to whatever, things will be different. I mean, it might be even better though. It's, you know, I say different because it'll be better. They'll be better because all of you have grown. You've grown, man. You know, in certain ways and realized other things. You know, it's not just one way. You know, it goes both ways. So there's been a lot of growth. So of course it'll be different. You expect that. You want that different, right? Isn't that what drew you away from in the first place? Right? And maybe you were right, but you just went a little too wrong, okay? But it could have been a discussion, you know what I'm saying? So, and a discussion with yourself instead of, you know, going off like a firework. So this is what I'm trying to tell you people, you know, sit down and have a discussion with yourself, okay? Before you make these abrupt moves, man. You know, these abrupt moves get you into stupid stuff, man. You know, some of you facing felony charges over, you know, from it started out like this and now it's just this sucker's this huge, man. You know, and now you're crying for help. I mean, you get to a point there's nothing can be done for you. you're going to have to, you're going to pay one way or the other. It's not like you're going to run from it. It's there. And already you're dealing with karma. Karma is going to get you, man. And the bigger it is, the quicker it comes on you, the harder it comes on you. You know, there's there's help. Get you out of some of it, okay? But you have to venture in and have the courage to get in there and do what you got to do to find out. You don't find out. You sit there and think in your head. You're trying to think your way out of it. It's not going to happen. You thought your way in. You worked your way in. The thoughts got you to working your way in. Now you got to work your way out. You can't think your way out and talk yourself out of it. So anyway, that's what I'm trying to say. Put this stuff down, get your gifts back up, enhance your gifts, enhance your power, get your power back up. Okay. So that you can lead a better life. All right. And there's help. You guys got my email, man. If you got certain things, there's certain areas I have to cover it at a blanket statement. In blanket statements, if you guys can understand that, I can't be specific. I can do, certain things that I know, but I can't, there's certain things that, I don't even want to know, unless you bring them to me. I have to have you bring them to me, even if I know. I can't, that's part of the process. You understand? You've got to bring it to me. I can't tell you so that, it's better now because he knows, well, I can tell you I know, but you still got to vocalize. You still got to bring it to me right in my eyes, and it's got to be done, and I'm using me as, it could be, you got counselors and stuff. Some of you people got people that you go to that help you, but, if you're going to bring it to me, I want to see you in my eyes. I want to see you right there. I want to see you right here, and you're just going to have to do it. Otherwise, you're not getting that help from me. It's not going to happen because I can't give you that much leeway because I'm not helping you. Okay. I can show you, but you got to be right here. You understand? You can't do it over the phone. All right. That just gives you this much. Over the phone, it can start, but that's it. And don't be scared. Just do it. Just do it. You claim to be so strong, but how come there's goldfish everywhere? Some of you know what that means. Walking around so cool, man, but you don't realize there's goldfish everywhere, man. All right. Remember the goldfish. You got to laugh at yourself sometimes. You got to. It's, you got to do it. And it takes away all that heaviness, man. You're putting so much on yourself. My God, it's some of it may be true, but God, you got so much on you, you can't make a move. You can't make a move. You got so much shame and guilt over these things, you can't make a move. Then you just got to rise out of that, and you got to laugh at yourself, say, oh my God, man, that's some stupid stuff I did, a stupid decision, man, to let this stuff take over me, doing stuff I never did before, or I did before, but now it's, I stopped and now I'm back and I went backwards. You know what I mean? I went all the way back. I didn't just go back a little bit. So, it just, some of you, it just depends what degree, you know what I mean? So get to a point where none of it is drawing you. There's none of it drawing you, That's what I had to do. And it was hard at first, man. It takes, you got to make that initial move. You just got to surrender, throw your hands up, say, that's it. That's it. I'm gonna do it. I don't care what happens because it ain't getting no better. It can only get worse. So what do I got to lose? You hear what I'm saying? So just make the move. I always said, when the pain gets bad enough, you'll make the decision. But I mean, how much pain you want to take? You're just sitting there turning up the dial yourself. You're doing it to yourself, and well, it's not high enough. It's not hurting enough yet. Here, I'll do a little more. I'm going to do a little more. It's my God. I know that makes sense to somebody. Because you know exactly what you're doing. It's not like you don't know what you're doing. You may be being manipulated, yeah, but you still got your faculties about you. And some of this stuff these people put on you also, guys, you know, you're getting inducted into these little associations, man. You're getting inducted into it with smiling faces behind smiling faces. But some of that is wearing off and you're waking up. You guys got to wake up. Wake up to who you are. Wake up to who you are. Wake up to what you want to be. Wake up to the reinvention of yourself. You understand? And when you do that, you're going to realize none of those people are in that. None of those people are in that invention, that reinventing of yourself. None of them are in there. They're not. I don't care if they're family members or not. Because if they were truly of the love, if they truly loved you, they'd be telling you. And the ones that are telling you and you're not listening to, but they're telling you these things, hey, you got to change this up. You're not listening. Those are the real ones. But the ones that are enabling you, going, no, don't do that. Don't do that. It's going to this, it's going to that. It won't work out. It won't this. I don't care what you think you feel for them. They don't feel the same thing because they're not, the same with your friends. Yeah. You know, misery loves company, man. Misery don't want you to leave. They like that company. You're some of the best looking company they've ever had. Misery lives with misery and ugliness and filth. They want something better than that, but pretty soon you're going to be that. They're turning you into that, and you're allowing it. You see what I'm saying? And they'll feed you this, and they'll feed you this. Come on, let's just a little bit. Let's do it. Come on, But it's not like going out and having a good time. It's a constant thing, and you don't know what you're taking. You understand? You don't know what they're putting in your drink. You don't know what they're putting in your food. Then they send you out to get other ones too, because they're not making no money. They're not making no money. They got to go out there, and how do you think the ones that do have money, why do you think they're getting it? A lot of them are out there, got little minions like you working for them, I don't know. I've been there, done that. So I love you. You guys try to get something from that. I hope it helps some people. You got my email, man. If you got certain situations, stuff like that, man, I don't know why you just, send it to me. If you got a question, send it to me. I'll answer it. I'll try to answer it, If it gets deeper, then we can probably get a phone call or something. You know what I mean? But anyway, you have a good day. And you know what this means? And then this. I'll leave you with that.